morning, dear students. Welcome again with Traveler 5, Unit 4. Today's lesson, we are going to speak about verbs starting with over. In this lesson, we are going to speak about verbs that begin with over. Over here is, we call it suffix. Suffix, over plus verb, what does it mean? When we add over to a verb in the beginning, what do we mean? Too much or too many or more than usual. How can you describe this? First of all, maybe someone of you ask me, teacher, what does the word suffix mean? Like, do you know un or n or des before verbs? Like when I say unhappy, incorrect, and so on. Disable, un, in, this, we call this, sorry, good morning, my dear students. Welcome back, inshallah. We're going to study a lesson in Traveler 5, Unit 4, Vocabulary. Today's lesson is we are going to speak about verbs starting with over. Over, when we put over plus verb in the beginning, what does the verb means? It means too much, many, or more than usual. Let's take some examples from your book. Yes, look at this. Look at this. Yes. If you look at these two pictures or photos, there is a container and this is a box. This box is full of jewels, as you see, jewels. This box is full of liquid or water. What happens to this and this? How can you describe this and this? The boxes are overflowed with jewels. What does the word overflow means? You fill something until it's very full. So the jewels came out of this box, and this happens to the liquid. What happened to the liquid? The container is full of water, then it came down, it's to the top. So it was full more than usual. So the boxes overflowed with jewels and pieces of gold. So this person, he described himself, he say, I was overcome. I was overcome with emotions. I could barely speak. Let's analyze these two words. Number one, I ask you, does the word overflow mean too full or moving very slow? I have said to you, over in the beginning of the verb, it means too full or too much. Anyway, in this point, it means too full. Too full. This box overflowed with jewels, and this container overflowed with water. But the person, he described himself, he say, I was overcome. What does the word overcome here mean? What does it mean? What does the word overcome mean? Does it mean come to the top, or means come very much? Of course, this is not right. This is not correct. It means this person, he was affected. He felt excited. He feels excited. So let's go to the next point. The next point. So how can you describe this person? How describe this person? He said that This person, yes, he say that he was, this person, he was overcome with emotions when he found the treasure. So this person, he used the verb overcome. Note, you have to notice that over plus verb come. I have said to you that over in the beginning means too much. But in this case, this is not correct. Over is apart from the word overcome. So what does it mean? It means affected. This person was affected or feel more excited. For more, he felt excited. He felt excited. So let's go to the next point. Yes, this is what I have said to you. Over at the beginning of a verb can mean too much, like overeat means to eat, yes, eat too much. However, means but, this is not always correct. This is not always the case. This is not always the case. For example, overtake, this is the new verb, overtake, means pass a person or a vehicle. Pass a person or a vehicle. You have to note that over, when it becomes before a verb, we call it in English sometimes prefix. What does the word prefix means? Do you know the word this, un, in? When I say this, able, disabled. When I say unhappy, unhappy. When I say incorrect. What does these words, what are they called? We call them prefix. They come, or we put them at the beginning or before the verb to give you a new meaning to the verb or to the word. So this happens today in the word over. Over in this lesson, sometimes it's a prefix that adds something to the verb. It adds too much or too many. Like when I say someone, I say he overeat. Overeat means, I say over means eat too much, and so on. But sometimes this is not always the case, like the verb overtake, and we have studied the words overcome. Overtake doesn't mean take much. If I say take much, this is not right. This is not correct. Look here. Yes, describe this. Can you describe this? This is the car, and it's very expensive. It's very expensive. How can I describe this? The car is very expensive using the prefix over. I say this car is overpriced. What does it mean? What does the word overpriced mean? Too much expensive. Now, I think you could understand what we mean by over when it comes before a verb. The next point. Look at this. Yes, this is the chicken. Chicken anyway. Okay, I have to speak to you about the chicken. The chicken was overcooked. This is one word, overcooked. The chicken was overcooked. What does the word overcooked means? It burned. So it burned. So overcooked means it took long time during cooking. You can say in the oven. So it became burned. So you can't eat it now. It's not good for eating. So the word over here means too much to the verb cooked. So it was burned, so you couldn't eat it. Describe this. We have two cars. This is a car and this is a car. But if you notice that this car came from behind to pass this vehicle. It passed this vehicle. So how can you describe this using over? Look here. I won the race because I could overtake the other cars. So this person used the verb overtake. Overtake in this case, over doesn't mean too much. Over in this word, it means to pass this car, pass another car or vehicle or a person. So look here. Yes. So overcome means to come from behind another vehicle or a person and move in front of them So in this case, overtake doesn't mean, if you say, what does overtake means? Don't say take much, it's not correct. It means another meaning. It means to come from behind, to pass another person or another vehicle, then it becomes in front of them. The next point, the next verb, yes. Look at this person, look at this boy. What happened? Yes, I think this person slept, but he slept more than usual. He slept much. So how can we use over in this point? Yes, you can delete the word much and say this boy overslept. This is what I want to say till you. Look here. Yes, this person, he was late for the school because he overslept. What does the word overslept here? Overslept means to sleep too much, more than usual. The next point, look at this. Yes, this person, he seems to eat, yes, he eats too much. Yes, he eats too much. So how can I use over in this point? You can delete too much and say he overeats. This person overeats. By the way, this is not good for your body. This is not good for your health. Look here. Read this sentence. Yes. It's a bad habit to overeat. It's not good for you to overeat. It's not good for your health. Anyway, the overeat means to eat too much or more than usual. I think this lesson is very easy now. So I say overeat means to eat too much. Oversleep means to sleep too much. Overcook, to cook something for a long time or too much time. Anyway, let's go to the next point. Yes, this person, how can you describe him? Good. How can you describe him? This person, he seems for me to work or do something. He works too much. He works too much. He is doing something too much. So you can delete this and write overdo. So I advise you, if you are ill, if you are sick, if you are weak, try not to overdo anything at home or at any place. Look at this example. Look at this. Yes. Overdo in this part, overdo, to do something in a way that's too extreme. Extremes means too much. So this person, he seems to have to be sick after heart attack. You have to be careful not to overdo it or do things. You have to work and live calmly in a quiet way. So this person, what's the advice that you can tell him? You say to him, you shouldn't, you shouldn't, you shouldn't, yes, work too much or do something too much. And you can say you shouldn't overdo. You shouldn't overdo. Let's go to the next point. Yes. So in this point, over, the word overdo, it means to work too much or more than usual. It's not good. It's not good. It may be harmful for you. Yes, this is what I had said to you. Look here, overtake, overcome, over, here, over, look, over, turn. If you look at all these verbs, in these cases, overtake doesn't mean if I say take much, it's not wrong. If I say overcome, come much, not wrong. Over here means here much, this is not wrong. Overlook doesn't mean look much. Overturn doesn't mean turn much. This is not the case in these examples. So you have learned it before, over, before. A verb may not mean too much, many, or more than usual. In some other cases, it means something different. It means something different, like these verbs, Now let's take all these words or verbs practically, in a practical way. Look at this. Yes, we have studied this example before. Yes, this car, it came from behind and it passes it passes this car. So how can we describe this? You can say this car overtake this car. Until this point, I have to ask you to think of other words, if you know other words, but that begin with over, and think, what does the word over or the prefix over mean in these words? You have to take your breath. Me, I want to take my breath. I'm going to come back after 1 or 2 minutes. Thank you very much. Okay. Dear students, welcome back. So this car came from behind. It passes this car and it became in front of it, in front. So how can you describe this? We use a famous verb to describe this. Yes. So we can use this. Overcome means overcome, to come from behind another vehicle or a person and move in front of them. So what happens? You can say this car over, yes, overcome in this point. No, overcome in this point is not correct. Overcome, I have said to you that overcome means to be affected. but you have to say overtake. Overtake, sorry, this is not good, this is not correct. So overtake means to come from behind or another vehicle or a person and move in front of him. Overtake, overtake. So how can you describe this? This car overtakes, the blue one overtakes the white one. Yes. So I won the race. Why? Because I could overtake. Overtake means to pass. Pass doesn't mean take much. To the next point. Go to the next point. Yes, if you look at this photo, this car, what happened to this car? Yes, you can say that car, it was a big accident. This car overturned. What does the word overturn means? Overturn doesn't mean too much in this point. It means to turn upside down. So what's happening now to the car? It overturn. What does the word overturn means? To turn upside down, turn upside down. Doesn't mean, if you say overturn means turn much, not, this is not correct. This is not correct. Yes, this person, he seems to use his ears to listen or hear something. He hear something. Yes, he wants to hear something. So over here in this point doesn't mean hear too much. This is not correct. What does it mean? Yes, let's continue. It means to hear someone who speaks, but you didn't intend to listen to him. You listen to someone by luck without intention, without any intention. This person, we have described him before 2 times. This person, he found a treasure, so he feels or he was overcome. Overcome in this point means he was affected. It has another meaning, very different meaning. So look at him, look at this point. So this person, yes, this person, he was overcome. Overcome in this point, can you say overcome means come too much? It's not wrong, but it's not correct, by the way. So he was overcome with emotions when he found, yes, found what? A big amount of money, big amount of treasure. So this person overcome in this point means, yes, it doesn't mean come too much. What does it mean? You ask me, teacher, what does it mean come, overcome? It means, yes, it's a part, over is a part from the word, and it means, yes, let's check your answer. Yes, you have to think. Overcome means come much or come to the top. Yes, it means that this is our point. He was affected. So you can say this person was overcome. You can say this person, he was overcome, he was affected or felt very excited, very happy. Go to the next part, next point. This boy or this kid, yes, this boy, he makes a mess. He broke something at home. So his parents, his dad or her dad, the parents may be angry. Okay? So, and he may punish the parents or the dad may punish, but in fact he didn't punish. What happened? He forgave this kid. So how can we use this person? If you see something, if you see someone, if you look at someone, if you see someone who makes a mess, who makes a he makes mistakes, but you forgive him. So his parents love him, so they don't like to punish him. So what happens in this point? Yes, they good. It's a new word. You are going to learn a new point in this. Yes, look at this point. Overlook. They overlook. The parents don't like to punish the kid. So the kid made a mess in the house, but his mom overlooked his mistakes, his faults, to forgive or pretend not to notice someone. So this is the point. So we use the word overlook when I want to forgive someone after he makes mistake. Why? Because you like him or you love him. So you pretend not to notice him or his faults. Overlook. Some teachers in classes, and this happens to me sometimes, sometimes I'm not strict all the time. Sometimes there is a person who is tired, he sleeps, he doesn't write. Sometimes I overlook. I pretend not to see him, or I pretend not to look at him. So I at last I forgive him. How can I express this? I say I overlook you, I overlook your mistakes. Because I love you, I respect you, and so on. I give you another chance. Go to the next point. Yes, this is the end. We came to the end of our lesson, but we have to. This is the end of our lesson. I hope that you have understood my lesson, but this is a practical exercise.
Traveler.
This is Traveler 5. Reading. Yes, that's the point. That's our lesson. This is the practice about the part we have studied. Look here. It's important when you start going to the gym not to do it. Yes, the word overdo. We have studied overdo. Overdo means to do something much. Yes. So what's the answer here? You can look anyway. Yes. Let's check your answer. Yes. E. To do too much of any activity. Number 2. I said you overheard to listen to someone, to hear someone speaking, but you didn't in fact intend, you didn't plan to listen to him, to hear him, but you listened to him by luck, by chance. Anyway, I overheard them talking about me when I was standing in the passage or the path. So what does the word overhear means here? Let's check your answer. Yes, let's look here. Yes, F, to intentionally hear to something or someone says when they are not talking to you. So these two people are not talking to you, but you hear them speaking. You hear them speaking, but you didn't, in fact, you didn't intend, you didn't plan to hear them. The next point, I overestimate. What does it mean, overestimate? Yes, David's enthusiasm for extreme sports, he didn't really appreciate it. Overestimate means if you are going to play a match against another team and you think this team is too strong, they will win the match. But in fact, when you played in the field, it turned out this team is not too strong, very strong, like what you have thought in the past. So you say to your friend, in fact, this team isn't too strong as we think. So what happened? You say to him, we overestimated the power of this team. So overestimate means C. Yes, to think that something is more than it actually is. The next one, parents usually overlook. I say to forgive. forgive, or to pretend not to see someone's faults or mistakes. Pretend to overlook the faults of their children because they love them. So what's the answer? Yes. A, to not notice or ignore problems. So you forgive someone, you forgive him, you forgive someone. Anyway, the next point. Yes, I forgot to set my alarm clock last night, and as a result, I overslept. Overslept, it means, what does it mean? Yes, it means to sleep too much than usual. Yes, D, to sleep longer than you should. Yes, means to sleep too much. The next point. Yes, the lorry or the car overturned during the accident. The accident. What does the word overturn means in this point? Overturn. It means, yes, B, to turn upside down or on the side. Anyway, if we look at these words in yellow, overdo, overslept, and overestimate, only these three words in yellow, over in these words means too much. So overdo means do much of something. Oversleep means sleep too much. Overestimate, to estimate someone more than he deserves, and so on. But overturn, the words in black, overturn, overhear, over in this, overlook, over in these words doesn't mean, in this word doesn't mean too much. It doesn't mean too much. Until this point, I have finished my lesson. Until we meet again, inshallah. Thank you very much, and I hope that you have understood my lesson. Goodbye and assalamu